Usually today I'll be doing an enema check-off video. I do scanning the room. So the first thing I would do is I would verify the order and hospital policy, and I would do 2 patient identifiers, Driver Jones, then birth 0825 NCC3, 0825 NCC3, and my number 4176 352, and my number 4176 352. In addition to doing 2 patient identifiers, I would assess for allergies on the cure order from the patient allergic to penicillin. Also, on the patient's allergy band, the patient is also allergic to penicillin. So after I've done that, I would gather my equipment. So for this procedure, I'll need some clean gloves, some goggles, waterproof linen, bedpan, IV pole, enema, some soap, and after I've got all my equipment, I'll perform hand hygiene and don my goggles. So I move over to the sink, and I will fill my bag between 750 milliliters to 1,000 milliliters, and I will just make sure that my enema is clamped before I pour. So after I pour the warm water or saline into the adult enema, put some soap in there, gently agitate. So after I've agitated, I'm going to show how to prime the tubing. So, gotta touch my computer because it's sleeping. Excuse me. Okay, sorry. Had to touch my computer to wake up. But I will show you how to prime the tubing. So right now it is clamped. If I slide it over to this circle part right here, it'll be primed. It will start priming the tubing, and the water will start coming out. So I'm going to do that back there in the water bottle. So again, sliding over, water will come out, closing it off, lowering the bag as well. We'll shut it off. So place the bag right here, place it into the water bottle, slide it over, raising, and it's primed, and it's priming into the water bottle. So I'm going to shut it off. So shut off, put the cap back on, and put the enema bag. So the bag is supposed to be on a firm surface, but for the sake of the video, I just have a towel covering it so it doesn't spill. But in a hospital setting, I will put it on the IV pole. But after that, I would put on my clean gloves. And after I put on my clean gloves, I position the patient. I would raise the bed to working height, lower the side rails, assist the patient into I touch my computer, a left lateral Sims position. And after I put the patient in the position, I'll take the tubing. And then, well, I gotta take this off first. Then I'll lubricate my non-diamond hand. And then in this procedure, you also have like a waterproof linen, but since I'm not actually priming or messing with anything, I'm not gonna open it for the sake of the video, but I would have it laid out and always have a bedpan beside at all times. So I take my non-diamond hand gently but firmly on the patient's hip. I would get my patient to take slow deep breaths, and I would insert the enema 3 to 4 inches into the rectum. And I know that if the patient had hemorrhoids, the patient may bear down to help facilitate with the procedure. I'll hold the enema in the rectum at all times. Before I insert it, I would make sure I had spread the butt cheeks or the buttocks, and I would take the enema bag, and this is where I would start priming, but I'm not going to do that in my box. But again, like I showed you earlier, size where the circle is, and the wire will come out. I'll hold the bag 12 to 18 inches. If the patient began to cramp or became uncomfortable, I would lower the solution or clamp the bag. But once I've got all the enema in there, I'll take all the solution in there, I'll take the enema out and discard. So discard. So this is right here. And after I've done that, after it's out, I would assist the patient with a bedpan. So the wider portion, so the type of portion that goes directly on the buttocks, and this part sits on the thigh. And after the patient is, after I've assessed the patient and the patient has voided, I would document I'll make sure when I'm having the bedpan, I'll make sure that the patient is comfortable. So I may raise the bed a little bit just for comfortability while they're voiding. But after, I would document the amount and the type of enema I use, the color and the amount of return, how the patient felt during the procedure, and how the patient was left in the procedure. And this concludes my enema checkup.